We're up to Siman Mem Hey. I'd like to finish Hilchas Tefillin today and move on to the new topics Hilchas Shachar tomorrow. The last halachas in Hilchas Tefillin is two sifim. The Mechaber says, "Aser lichnois bebeis hakvaris." You're not allowed to enter a cemetery, oy b'toich arba ames shel meis, or standing within 4 ames of a dead body, even outside of a cemetery, u'tefillin b'roishai, while wearing tefillin. Misham loig l'rosh, because it's considered loig l'rosh, it's considered disrespectful to throw it in the face of the mace, because they can't wear tefillin anymore. But if the tefillin are covered, it's mutter. Now, by the Mishnah Berurah points out, covered is not just the boxes; you have to cover the ritzuas also. So, for the hand, you'd have to get rid of the ritzuas on your palm, and the shel roish. It's not practical. I don't know how you'd cover the ritzuas as well. Now, the Mishnah Berurah says two things before we get into where. Let's look at the Mishnah Berurah. The Mishnah Berurah says in Aleph, "Afilu toich da'al ramesh shel makam ascholas hakvarim gam ken aser." Within 4 ames of the grave is aser from when they start. So let's say they start over here. That's the beginning of the cemetery. 4 ames away is already a problem because it's within 4 ames of the first row of graves. You lack a mechitza unless there's a wall. Nafsakis. But the lawyer biyachad ve'yamar aser leilach toich dal ramesh hakever oishel meis. Das hamagad ram de balaramis. The magad ram shita is the mimakam beis hakvaris elufnim aser afilu rachik dal ramesh ben hakever. Interesting. The Mechaber says you're not allowed to go within Daled Amas of a kever or a Beis HaKvaris. Sounds like there's 2 separate categories. The Magen Avraham says they are. When there's a body outside, just a standalone grave, it's Daled Amas. Within the cemetery, the entire cemetery is Aser, even if you happen to have a space within the cemetery that's 4 Amas away. So let's say you happen to have a space in the cemetery that's got 20 Amas each direction. No, you can't wear tefillin over there because it's within the Beis HaKvaris. That's the Magen Avraham's Chiddush. And he says, Ein Bir Halacha, the Bir Halacha brings down those that disagree, and therefore the Bir Halacha says like this: within the actual cemetery, in the middle of the cemetery, you shouldn't wear tefillin, even if you're not within Daled Amas of a grave. But the beginning of the cemetery, if you're Daled Amas away, you're allowed to. Okay. Now the Mishnah Berurah then says Daled Amas because of halavush dechol oisei cheder shameis munach boy choshev Daled Amas. Let's say there's a dead body in a big room. The entire room is Daled Amas. You're not allowed to wear tefillin in the entire room, even if you're technically more than Daled Amas away. Magin Gibarim Chaluk, Magin Gibarim says no. The Magin Gibarim says as long as you're not within Daled Amas of the actual dead body, you could be in the same room with tefillin on. And he says because of the types of Daled Amas, then the Mishnah Berurah sits a machlokes. Then the Mishnah Berurah ends off that even a kever shel katan shadayin lo hedil l'chal mitzvahs afilu hachi ein lichnos b'tefillin b'rosh lo gil rosh. It's a famous shita. The Marshal also says this, that within Daled Amas of a kever of a katan is also also. You're gonna say, well, why? It's lo gil rosh. He didn't have to wear tefillin anyway. So there's 2 explanations. First of all, it's still also because he would have gotten to the age of tefillin, or maybe his neshama was the neshama of an adult. So you can't wear tefillin Daled Amas of even the grave of a katan. Then the Mechaber says in Beis, well, we'll run through it fairly quickly. We don't have this anymore. We don't really have bathhouses anymore as they used to. We have mikvahs. Now, when you walk into the mikvah, people just get naked. It's one giant room, they just get naked. But it used to be that there were 3 separate rooms. There was the inner room where everyone was naked. There was the middle room where people would be wearing underwear and then they would already have underwear on and then they would get the rest of the body dressed. And then there's the outer room. So inner room completely naked, the middle room they would put on underwear, and the outer room they would get the rest of the body dressed. So the outer room is like basically a regular room. Everyone was already kemat fully clothed. So the Mechaber says, but Beis HaMerchatz, the halacha is like this: Beis HaChitzon shekol oin devahem levushim, the outer room where everyone's already dressed. You could put tefillin on in the outer room because everyone's dressed already. Beis HaMtzoi, the middle room, shemiktzas b'nei adam oimdim sham levushim miktzas harumim, where in the middle room where people are putting the underwear on, so some people are already wearing undergarments, some people are still naked. You can't put tefillin on in the middle room. But if you're wearing tefillin, you don't have to take them off. And the inner room, where everyone is not dressed, you have to take your tefillin off. Like I said, our merchatz is just the inner room, so it wouldn't have practical applications for nowadays. Okay, I will stop here. We'll pick it up tomorrow, Bez Hashem, in Hilchas Shachar.